Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Anthony Galaviz. It's Saturday afternoon. Hope everybody's having a great day so far, a great weekend. Um, the NFL preseason is winding down. That means the regular season's almost here. And even before that, tough decisions for coaches to cut down the roster to an initial 53-man roster. And that's no exception for Antonio Pierce, who is going to consult with Tom Telesco, go over the roster, who are they going to cut. Last night's game against the San Francisco 49ers was not an indicator, but uh, gave those players a chance to show that they belong on the initial 53-man roster. And even not that, if they don't make the roster, then the practice squad, the 60-man practice squad. So, a lot of chances for these players last night to showcase what they're able to do. But from now till Tuesday, um, Antonio Pierce has to make tough decisions. And who's going to keep? The Raiders going to keep three quarterbacks, or they're going to go with two? It's like that for every position out there. Obviously, there's locks like Devontae Adams. Don't have to worry about him. He'll be there. He's ready to go against the Chargers week one at SoFi Stadium. Uh, but yeah, I took a crack at the initial 53-man roster, and you know what? These are they're always tough because the better it's the same thing with the scheduling. You just don't know who's gonna play week one, week two, leading up to the and even in the mock drafts. This is like a comparison to a mock draft. Like you're going over the roster and you're taking a guess who the Raiders gonna keep and who they're gonna let go. And I'm no different. I took a stab at it, and um, I'm probably gonna be wrong on this. Other than Gardner Minshew is the Raiders starting quarterback. So but the question is, are the Raiders going to keep two or three quarterbacks? Um, I think they'll keep two. I was going back and forth thinking they'll keep Carter Bradley because he had a good game last night. Uh, but ultimately, I went with Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. Uh, Carter Bradley, I can see being on the practice squad. No question about that. Nathan Peterman is probably gone, so we'll see about that. So I'm going with two. And I'm just not gonna sit here and talk about all the give you analysis of why, but I'm just gonna run down the list here of each position who I think the Raiders are gonna keep. Running back Zamir White, Alexander Madison, Amir Abdullah, and Neil Lamy. I just think they're gonna go with four on that. Mertain Brown, I can see making the practice squad. Think that guy has a lot of upside, so I think the Raiders are going to keep him. Wide receiver, obviously Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, DJ Turner, and Tyreek McAllister. I think he could be useful in special teams. He showed a lot last night and promised, so I think the Raiders will keep him. And then also Jalen Guyton, that's a Tom Telesco guy, so I can see the Raiders releasing him. But then again, if I say that, it's probably going to happen. So we'll find out from now to Tuesday. Tight end, going with three. Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, and Harrison Bryant. Bryant can be useful to block. And you guys know what Bowers and Mayer can do, whether it be blocking or catching the ball. I'm really interested. I can't wait to see those two guys on the field on the field at the same time. Uh, See what happens on that. Every game that they're in together. Um, that's going to open up a lot of opportunities for Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, and whoever other receivers are. Okay, so going offensive line, right tackle. Well, actually, I'm just going to go with the offensive line here. I think the Raiders are going to keep Thayer Mudford, DJ Glaze, Andre James, Cody Whitehair, Jackson Powers Johnson, Colton Miller, Andrews Pete, Dylan Parham, and Jordan Meredith. I think that's a solid offensive line if you look at it. Do want to see a lot of improvement from Andrews Pete in case Colton Miller goes down, because Colton's back from the injury, so he's off the pup list. DJ Glaze has shown a lot already. He's opened a lot of eyes for the rookie. and I think the Raiders found something in DJ. Uh, Other than that, I think that's about it on that one. Going on defense, defensive end, Max Crosby, Tyree Wilson, Charles Snowden, Malcolm Koontz, Janarius Robinson. So we'll go with four there. I think Snowden showed made his case last night against the Niners. So I think it's a tough decision to make, but I think the Raiders will keep him. Tyree Wilson, I spoke about Tyree before, and obviously he didn't play last night. A lot of fans want to see him play to see what he can do. But I just think that, yeah, it's not too good for Wilson, but I think there's a lot of promise still. So I wouldn't give up to him too easily. Let him show or have the coaches work with him and see what they can do during the season. I just think Tyree Wilson, if you give up on him, he goes to another team. The Raiders are going to regret letting somebody go who they just think, like I said, fans should not give up on Tyree Wilson. Give him a shot. Just year two. It's not like it's year 5 or 6 or 7. Um, I mean, look at Malcolm Koontz. He finally showed out last year. So I just think show some, have some patience with Tyree Wilson. See what happens this year. If it doesn't work out, then you obviously let him go. So there's that. Defensive tackle, I have four: John Jenkins, Christian Wilkins, Adam Butler, and Nessa Jade Severa. Um, Now, this position, I don't know. I can foresee the Raiders hitting the waiver wire and picking up somebody who's been released from another team. So, not too confident on the defensive tackle side of it, other than Jenkins and Wilkins and Butler. Who's going to be the fourth and fifth? I went with four because I'm not sure where the Raiders going to go with this one. But I see a lot of looking at the waiver wire to see who they're going to pick up. Linebacker, Divine Diablo, Robert Spillane, Luke Masterson, Amari Gator, and Tim Eichenberg. Eichenberg is injured right now, or leg injury. So, see what the Raiders do with that one because, um, I just think there's a lot of problems in the linebacker. Another position that the Raiders can look at the waiver wire who they could go after. So, we'll see what happens with that. Gator, he showed a lot of promise last night, and I just think that Raiders could not let him go. I think the Raiders are going to keep him. A lot of upside there, and we'll see. So just go with five linebackers there. That could change, obviously, the waiver wire because you guys know how that works. I'm sure a lot of fans will be looking at the waiver wire too. So we'll see. Quarterback: Nate Hobbs, Jacorian Bennett, Jack Jones, I've always had a problem saying Richardson's first name. DeCambrian Richardson, MJ Shire. Probably botched that name, gotta learn it. Look at the pronunciation. It's saying the last name correct. Devon Shire. There you go. Brandon Faison. Brandon Faison, haven't seen much, obviously, because he's injured. Doing a Raiders release, and Antonio Pierce talked today about Faison. I just think that he needs to get healthy quick because I just think he'll be taking a roster spot if he's not fully healthy. Another position where the Raiders can look at the waiver wire and pick up somebody that they let go from another team. So I can see that happening. Um, just I just think with Jack Jones, Nate Hobbs, you got a lot. You have a lot to work there. I mean, there's a lot of promise there, especially with Jack Jones. But the Raiders need to add a veteran quarterback there, and some of those veterans who are out there have been swooped up already. Um, so we'll see where the Raiders go because the waiver wire next week, Tuesday, Wednesday for that matter, uh, is when the Raiders gonna probably be busy there, and so that's why they call the initial 53-man roster because it's never set in stone. There's always influx there. Safety: Trayvon Merrick, Marcus Epps, Isaiah Polamalu, I got Jaden Grantstein, Chris Smith, and Trey Taylor. If you want to sit out Trey Taylor against the Chiefs, I'm just joking. You guys know about that situation where well, I'm not gonna bring it up. Like I brought it up, but Patrick Mahomes will not forget that. But anyways, I had those grouped there, the safety. Again, another position where the Raiders could hit the waiver wire and see who's available, veteran safety out there. But I mean, we'll see what happens in that position. Kicker, Daniel Carlson, lock, another lock, AJ Cole, and then Jacob Moyer. So I gave you my rundown of my initial 53-man roster, who I think that is going to stick with the Raiders, but of course, it's going to be wrong because I'm not perfect. And neither are other reporters out there. We're just all based off what we see and see what happens because I just think, looking at the Raider roster, I think there's some promises there. Um, but again, it hinges over the quarterback position. Defense, just want to see. A lot of people are so questioning the Raiders defense lately because of, I know a lot of us talk up about the Raiders defense, but I just think the Raiders defense will be challenged, but I just think they'll be ready for the Rodgers opportunity to show that what happened last year is not a fluke, and the game against the Chargers is going to show what the Raiders have learned from last year and during the preseason and training camp. So I'm just eager to see what the Raiders do. I'm gonna talk more about what the roster looks like next week. But for now, I'm just giving you my initial 53-man roster, talking about what I think, and a quick overview of the Raiders preseason. Um, a tie last night. Who cares? It's preseason. It's more of, like I said, players showcasing why they belong on an NFL roster. Because some of these players who get cut are probably going to get picked up by other teams. So the Raiders are going to have to have to act fast here, and just go over it because I see a lot of these players here could go to other teams and rather be a practice squad or whatever, think they could contribute wherever they go. But I see a lot of promises for the Raiders, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll talk more about it. I'm gonna upload Antonio Pierce video from today, talking at the press conference leading into the roster cuts. So anyhow, my name is Anthony Galaviz. Hit the like and subscribe button. I'd like to get more followers. Try to get this thing going. Help me out. Tell your friends and family again. Like to share my thoughts on the Raiders. So, anyways, have a great day. We'll talk soon.